I was um, on Sunday working on a small thing. I am working on a pretty printer for the. I should probably edit my stream details to. I should also put a. I'm not sure how to put a time marker. Actually, it's a good point. I should also edit the stream details to make it clear that this is no longer the advent of code. But it's gonna be very annoying to. It's fine. I think I'm just gonna accept the fact that like for December my stream will be labeled Advent of Code, even though I will switch to other non-Advent of Code things every now and then. I think that's fine. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. Okay, so I was working on something last week, which was the pretty printer for the AST to be able to like debug our past and then validated AST. We did the pretty printer both in text form and in HTML form for the past AST, where we have basically zero information. So the only thing we can do is decorate, well, that's a string literal, that's an int literal, this is a keyword basically, and we don't do much. What I was planning to do, that I was working on, but I didn't finish on Sunday, was to do the same kind of work of the pretty printer for the validated version of the AST, where we could. I was looking at how Hackage does it. We could do a thing where, like, if you hover over like an X variable or something, it highlights where it is actually used. Like, we could do something a bit smart like this. And I was in the middle of doing that, so let's get back to it. This is no longer valid, but this annotation thing is okay. And I was running this pretty fire stuff in a printer monad. I will also probably need to yet again keep a scope. I will need to keep the variables in scope. Oops. Well, I suppose that's the ideas. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't need to do anything like this. Yeah, I already have it. Perfect. So, I was in the process of writing those pretty functions that take something and give me an annotated document, which can then be put into text or into anything else based on the renderer I am using. Okay? Yes, I was here. There's the problem of. No, okay, this fold map does the trick. Perfect. Oh, yes, I was thinking of maybe not just printing the symbols, which is what I have here, but printing actually an interface, a complete interface. Which would be. It's funny how those two projects, Advent of Code and Compiler, are so different that switching from one to the other feels weird. this is going to be, I'm going to need to do a I suppose the definition cache will contain what I want. So I will need to do of the interface definitions. Then I will do the symbols by doing a pretty symbol cache of the interface symbols. And the result of this will be a vertical separation, which is just like the definitions, a hard line, and the symbols. Okay. I don't think I actually need to do that, since I'm using intersperse here. Okay. Okay, so that's the interface. I have the problem where in this file, everything, the declaration order matters, which means I am stuck with declaring things bottom up, which I don't like, but that's the price of having lenses. Deficient cache here. I guess I can do this one later. For now, this is going to be just a vsep of an empty list, and we'll go over that later. Because I have the thing that prints a function info, perfect, which is the basis for printing a symbol cache. And now I will need to do, how do I print a block? That's probably going to be the same as it was before. So I can just copy that one that I had from before and put it somewhere there at the top. That hasn't changed. A block is just the brackets and then pretty statement underneath. Statement hasn't changed. Continue and break are annotated with the fact that they're a keyword. That's fine. Okay. I'm just gonna copy all of the stuff, which hopefully, yeah, I think most of this remains unchanged. It's just that the order will have to be changed because of template Haskell in this file, which is a bit annoying. So I'll need to move a lot of stuff up like this. Okay, so there's a few things that are different. This is no longer a with location. This is a typed in this context. Now, there's the thing of, no, I think the expression is where I'm going to do that. So I think if is the same here. There's the question of, do I want to annotate whole instructions with like some type information? That feels extremely overkill. I think it's going to be, what's going to be useful is just being able to highlight where does this value come from, I think. So let's do that. And nothing else. So if for doesn't change, while doesn't change, let doesn't change, I think. Well, except the let type is different. Yeah, a few of the things are going to be different. So this is not going to compile as is, because I have copied this from the past version of the AST, but the validated version of the AST is slightly different. Let info, for instance, always have. So here I will have a let name, but here I will always have. Oh, but I need to rewrite half of this because now it needs to be monadic. I had forgotten about this. I mean, not all of it needs to be monadic, I suppose. But that will definitely have to be monadic. Where have I used my printer monad? Let's have a look. Okay, so it's just printer of the thing. It's printer of this thing. And here I'm gonna get the expression by doing this fold map, which is actually in this case a traverse. It's a fold of traverse because now it's monadic. Now it is this. Likewise for if, this is gonna have to change. So the if expression will be the result of doing this. And then I'll have the rest of the stuff as this. The only downside is this isn't the most important and most urgent thing for the compiler, but I started on Sunday, I would like to finish it. Plus, as something I can do after the advent of code for a short amount of time, because this is not a full compiler stream, I think this works. So this remains the same, I think, more or less, except this is monadic, so in this case, pure empty list. Unless no, I think making it as a list works well. The only thing here is that now this needs to be this at the beginning in an fmap of this. Likewise here, this is here, this at the beginning in an fmap of this. And here we return something which is an hsep of the keyword if, the expression, the body, and the else document. Okay. 4 is going to be the same, but that's going to be that. I'm going to rename this body for consistency. So that's the if body, and that's the else body, I suppose. Let's be consistent. If expression, if body, else body. here I have the for variable name in the for expression and the for body. Oh, this is also parser, because this is now monadic in this version of the code. So is it here? Likewise for a while. What time is it? Okay, not too late yet. Which is going to be extremely similar. Open it to block. Generate the document in our monad. Okay, and then concatenate all of that. This is also going to be, so this is completely different, because here not only do we need to do something like that, I suppose. Wait, that's wrong. That's wrong in both cases, actually. For return here, we don't want to do that. So this is a case of so if there is an expression in the return, we can do something like this. Otherwise, if there isn't, we don't put a space between the thing and the semicolon, we just return the semicolon. Which means, yeah, we won't have a weird space here, in this case there. So we need to do the same thing here, where I think it's just better to rewrite this function as a case. If there is nothing, I don't even need to do anything recursive in the monad. That's just, oops, that, but without the expression. And if there is something, then we do this thing. There we go. Okay, for let now. Here I'm using this logic here to do the type, which will not be there otherwise, so I think it's fine. So here I can do this as having type doc being, oh, the let type, let's be consistent, L type will be pretty type, traverse pretty type of the let type. And the let expression will be pretty expression of the let expression. And we return this complicated thing. Aha, this is where I'm gonna need to do another annotation. So this is not a variable, this is a variable declaration, I suppose. So this is gonna be a let annotation. Oof, I'm actually getting tired. I think I'm probably gonna stop here and come back with my mind a bit clearer because I am tired. But I think the point I want to do here is this going to be an annotate of a let annotation. So I will know that this is where this variable is declared, so we can do the syntax highlighting. Oh, do I want actually to... No, it's going to be on the name. However, here I'm going to need to do more. I'm going to need to register the name. So I think here I'll want the text. Because what I want to do here is, okay, this is the site where a variable is declared. So I will want to know what's the unique ID in my pretty printed version of this. So it's going to be the var ID is going to be obtained by doing a register of mangle of the name. And now I can annotate this as being a let for this particular unique variable ID. With maybe this type stuff here, which is not on the let type, but this L type thing, and then that's the let expression. Okay. I think after that, we have only to do the prettifier for the expressions. Then we do the prettifier for the struct declarations, enum declarations as well, excuse me. As we already have, I think, from last time. Yeah, here, so we can just copy that again. And then we can decide what does it mean for something to be annotated. In the past version where we are doing purely like very basic things, we're just applying a CSS class on each thing, which we have like extremely basic stuff. For the validated stuff, we can do probably some more interesting things. We could annotate something with like a class that references a unique ID, so we can do links to where a variable is declared, so we can do highlighting of where a variable is used. We can do some smarter stuff there at the price of a tiny bit of JavaScript, I suppose. But I will think about what I want to do for next time. For now, I'm gonna stop here. And today was Wednesday. Yeah, I was a bit late streaming this week. I think I'll try streaming again tomorrow evening to do at least day 4 of the Advent of Code. We'll see how difficult that is. And I don't know for Friday yet. We'll see about that. In the meantime, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.